The big story, of course, the judges' row, and there's been much back and forth on that, whether the matter has been settled or not. And it seems now there has been a U-turn by the Attorney General himself, who has said that yes, well, the judges' dispute is not settled. He was speaking to my colleague Srinivasan Jain earlier. Vasu, tell us, what more did the Attorney General tell you about this?
Well, of course, the big dramatic headline coming out of my conversation this morning with the Attorney General was the fact that he conceded that the matter between the judges has not been settled. Now, this is something which is a complete reversal of the position that he taken yesterday when he told our colleague Vaidyanathan that the matter was resolved over that morning tea or coffee meeting that the judges had before the court convened. This is a routine weekly meeting that the judges have every week, and by the Attorney General's account, this had become some kind of an occasion to broker peace between the two conflicting sides. But what he told me this morning is that based on a report in the Hindu on the front page, which actually says that, quoting sources close to the so-called rebel judges, that the matter has not been resolved and that any attempt to suggest that is a misinformation campaign, the Attorney General said that he concedes that the matter has not been settled. He said further, leading to his change of position was the fact that he saw Prashant Bhushan, the Supreme Court lawyer who's been fairly closely involved in raising many of these issues about the conduct of the Chief Justice. He saw Prashant Bhushan on a TV show last night where Prashant Bhushan also said that the matter has not been resolved. He says, the Attorney General that is, says that based on both the Hindu report and Prashant Bhushan's television appearance, he came to the conclusion that the matter has not been settled. Now, he also said that there is the possibility that talks will take place, or he hopes that talks will take place between both sides to try and resolve the matter. But I think what is significant is that if the Attorney General himself is basing his position based on media reports, then it only deepens the sense of confusion over where exactly we stand with this entire controversy, because obviously someone as senior as him does not have an inside track into exactly what the negotiations are, then of course it raises the question as to who is privy to that information and whether any negotiations have taken place at all. Because the only two people who gave an indication that things were moving towards some sort of resolution was the Attorney General himself and the head of the Bar Council. Now it appears that both of them may not have got a full picture of what the actual story is. So as of now, as we head into now the second working day of the Supreme Court after that rebellion, it's safe to say that all is still not well in the highest court of the land.
Well, absolutely. And Vasu, one of the suggestions from that would also be, from what you're picking up, is the fact that the Supreme Court has announced a composition of 5-judge constitutional bench that will begin hearing several important cases, and none of those 4 judges are actually on any of those benches.
Well, that's something which I think we need a little more clarification on, because talking to some senior Supreme Court lawyers this morning, the impression I was given is that this bench was actually notified in December, and some of those cases had already been assigned to that bench, for instance, the Aadhaar case. And this was simply the formal announcement of that bench, constituted in December, notified yesterday. So whether that can also be read into a sign that all is not well will perhaps have to wait. Having said that, though, the very constitution of it in December itself is something that did raise eyebrows, because the 5 judges that it was comprised of did not include Justice Chalameshwar and Justice Bobde, both of whom had actually been hearing the Aadhaar matter for close to 4 years, but that bench was constituted to hear the final stage of the Aadhaar debate without either of them. So whether, in a sense, even that constitution played a role in the judges coming out and going public is something that is not entirely clear. But the fact that it was announced yesterday, yes, you're right, to that extent, does add grist to the mill that things do not really appear to be moving towards a resolution.